co-main event coming up.
So Shea Willcox, I was unfamiliar with Shea a couple of fights back. Someone had asked me, he was fighting, and they were like, "Oh, who do you think's going to win?" And I'm like, you know what? I don't know. From what I saw from Shea, I will never answer that question the same way. Who do I think will win any fight? Shea Willcox. This will be an interesting fight for Willcox. So Shea is really talented, very, 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 very talented. He's up against Salvatore. I'm sure I did not get that name right. They have a similar record in terms of 7 wins. So Shea's undefeated. Sal is 7 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw. So Sal's no slouch. This is not like a gimme. This will be a tough test for Willcox. So the Nolans just don't put, there's never easy fights for the Nolan cards. So that's the one thing I love about the Nolan cards. So Shea Willcox is just a really, I don't know if I mentioned this, super talented fighter.
Hey, you were saying you had never seen him.
I hadn't seen him.
And what was your impression?
Oh, my impression was this kid is super talented, and I don't see him losing any fights in the foreseeable future.
What was it that stood out to you?
His movements, his patience, his ring generalship, his ability to start and stop, his head movement, his aggression, his furiosity. He's got all of it.
So he's got all around.
All around. Salvatore Pugliares.
That name sounds like it should be in a mafia movie or something.
Yeah, exactly. Salvatore. Big stage-wise too, Willcox seems comfortable on the big stage.
How important is that? Having done it before on a big stage, that experience,
it's really, I don't want to, I hate to say it, it's big.
Yeah.
It is big. To be on the big stage before, to be comfortable on it, it takes away pressure. Yeah. Boxing, there's enough pressure in boxing as it is. You got another man in front of you, skilled and trained, coming to beat you up. It looks like they're both wearing Cleto Reyes gloves. Cleto Reyes gloves, they are great gloves. They are what they call a puncher's glove.
Really?
You can feel you feel the punches. Some punches, like gloves like Winning, are more of like pillowy.
Okay.
They're more face friendly.
Yeah.
Whereas
these are fighter, like fighting,
these are fighting
fight
gloves.
night gloves.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference in glove?
I like pillows.
Yeah.
This fight is proudly sponsored by iFight PowerPoint and Keep Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. Your 3 judges scoring from inside on the 10-point bus system, Eddie Scorsio, Joe Peace, and Mike Zullo. And your referee in charge of the action once again is Melissa Kelly.
All right, Melissa.
Introducing first, boxing out of the blue corner to my right, wearing black and green, weighing in at the lightweight limit of 135 pounds. Undefeated as a pro, 7-0 with 5 big wins, 5 win knockout. And he comes to us from nearby, Perry, Massachusetts. Please welcome Showtime Shea Willcox. It is a Martin Russell boxing in the red corner. Wearing silver black, weighing in at 135 1-6 by way of knockout. And it comes to us from East Hartford, Connecticut. Please welcome Salvatore Pugliares.
Todd, I want to ask you.
Referee Melissa Kelly with the final word.
Todd, I want to ask you. Yeah. You got a hometown guy like Shea, and you think you got your hometown crowd behind you. You know, maybe that's an advantage. Can that also maybe hurt a fighter because he may be wanting to try too hard?
Pressure.
Yeah.
It's anywhere that there is pressure can be harmful.
Burst pipes.
Some people pressure burst pipes. Some people can rise to it. Some people fall underneath it. Some people it bothers. Some people it doesn't. Pressure.
And you got a guy like Sal coming in from New York. He's got nothing to lose. It's a no-way audience. No one's here rooting for him, really.
No, but he knows too. It's on the zone. So he knows people are watching,
it.
and that's pressure as well.
Bright lights, that's a good point.
And you can see I like a nice feeling out process. You've got Salvatore's on the move. Shea controlling the center of that ring, picking him off here or there, and I love a good jab to the belly.
Now, this is Shea, the Shea that you know, kind of a stalker?
Shea does it, see, like that right there. Shea does different things. He's not the same.
That's important.
Round after round, moment after moment. He might find a groove, stick with that groove till it doesn't work for him anymore, and then he moves on.
Versatility, he can mix it.
Yeah, versatility, yes. That's the word I was looking for. I like that nice little double jab by Salvatore. And I do like Sal's got, he's moving left, he's moving right. Shea's a tough guy to sort of, what I like is that there's no allowance for position to be taken, feet to be planted, and strong punches to be thrown. So that's one of the benefits of being on the move, like Pugliares is right now.
So he's not giving Shea the chance to really plant and set up and get those shots.
Yep.
He's giving Shea something to think about this opening round.
I thought that was about 10 seconds left. He's making Willcox's task difficult. He's not making it easy with the movement. There are some fans that don't like this type of movement. They'll call it running. Those fans are wrong.
I was going to say, I know what you call it. You call it smart.
Yep, it's just smart. It's why stand toe-to-toe with a guy like Shea Willcox, who has a bunch of knockouts. So I'm going to move. And I just think it's smart. Eventually, he'll need to mount some sort of offense, but you know what? We got 6 rounds. Yeah. And right there, so he throws a couple of punches. Throws a couple of punches to the air.
Too, it's a great point what you said by all this movement. Could that possibly frustrate Shea?
Absolutely.
Would then you give him an opportunity?
100%. It could make Willcox make a mistake. Again, when we talk about those moments of silences, so Shea's not this kind, but there are some boxers that when the guy's running and you're coming at him and you're throwing and he's rolling under that, you're not connecting, it can make you embarrassed. And then you're going to want to hurt that man, and then you'll make a mistake because your desire has overtaken your boxing intelligence.
And as I was saying, even at home at Fenway in front of your whole fans, you want to make a statement. You want to you want to put on a show for the local people.
Yep.
And that could possibly, with a strategy like that, take him out of his game plan because he wants to, he wants to have that statement win.
Right.
He wants to, send the fans home happy.
So for other boxers, that's very true. For Shea Willcox, it's not true. Shea doesn't.
You don't see that. You don't see that.
I don't see that out of him.
Okay.
I don't think he cares, and not in the bad way. I don't think he cares.
That's important.
Or seeks the crowd approval. Shea just wants to box.
It's business.
It's business.
That's important.
That's what he cares about. He cares about getting the job done. Doesn't care about
eyes on the prize.
Yep. Yeah. And that's a dangerous man.
Yeah.
It's the same with, when Shea's on the mic. He even said, like, at the press conference, like, I'm not good at this. Like, this is what he's about.
Yeah.
This is where he shines. This is what he's about. And now what he needs to do is he has to start cutting off the ring.
Yeah,
Yep. And it looks like he's doing a very good job of it right now for this round. Beautiful body shot. Shea's got this body shot that just debilitates. That's his bread and butter. And he's landed 2 of them. So.
Talk about the importance of going to the body area.
It's what it does is, Teddy Atlas has a great way of describing it as it takes the air out of the tires of your opponent. It's like putting money in the bank, where that eventually, that will slow a fighter down. I know I would much rather get hit in the head than in the body. Body shots just are debilitating. Probably why I can't do math.
You got to think too, the body shots too. That'll eventually open up a great, good shots.
Yeah,
up top.
Body shots will open up stuff upstairs. It'll debilitate you downstairs. It'll open things up upstairs. And Shea's doing it. See, it's a very different Shea right now than in the first round. Now he's southpaw. Now he's back seamlessly back to orthodox. Salvatore is back on his movement where he had stopped his movement for a little bit. So then it makes you wonder, can he keep up that movement for 4 more rounds? And that ain't easy.
Well, at some point too, if you want to win the fight, you have to mount some type of offense. So you'd like to see Salvatore moving, making giving him angles and things to think about. But from Salvatore's point of view, what do you do now to kind of offset this guy that's hunting you down?
So now that's when you have to think of. You ask yourself, how long can I keep that up? How long can I keep up this movement? How have the rounds gone? I didn't win the first round. This is only the second round. In the third round, we might see something different.
I mean, he's clearly losing this round as well.
See, I like that, and then back on your bike. But he needs to start connecting too. And I like that. He can punch the gloves, and then we got to set it up. You punch the gloves, and then you can punch Shea. And see Shea brilliantly cuts the ring off there. Nice tie-up. So now, for the third round, now we need something different out of Sal. So Sal's got to do something a little bit different now. So what that difference is, he needs more of that.
He has to mount some type of offense.
Mounting more of an offense.
It's one thing to be shifty and elusive, but you got to hit the other guy.
Yep. And it's hard to do on the move. But again, these are things that you drill at the gym. So let's assume that this is what Sal drills.
Yeah.
So let's say you got Sal's coach holding mitts. Sal's going all the way around the ring, coming in and out, punching in, punching out, punching in, pop, going out, circling, getting in, pop, and circling. Then in sparring, doing the same thing. So that's one way that if he's doing that sort of drill work, then he can keep this up all night.
You got to think too, he hasn't really done much to make Shea really respect his punches.
No.
So right now Shea looks like he's comfortable. He's doing whatever he wants.
Yeah, Shea's able to sort of dictate when things happen. Well, it's a little hard because of the movement.
The movement has made Sal hard to hit, but Shea doesn't seem like he's that worried about getting countered.
No, but what I like about what Sal is doing is he's mounting something.
Okay,
here. And he's making Willcox have to work.
He has to do that now.
But he has to work. He has to follow. He has to stalk. Then he has to work at cutting off the ring. So Willcox has to do different things than he normally wants to do. And again, I know I throw Barry's name out a lot. Barry has a thing where he talks about you have to do what you need to do before you do what you want to do. And it takes mental discipline to be able to do what you need to do before you do what you want to do. You can get incredibly frustrated. I'm not doing what I want to do and get frustrated.
Sure.
And then Willcox, again, it's his mindset. I believe he's able to do what he needs to do, then do what he wants to do, and he's fine with that.
Yeah. I mean,
And there are fighters that aren't fine with that.
Willcox too has a good defense. He's kind of almost
Yep.
uses that Floyd Mayweather shoulder, as another thing that makes him hard to hit.
Yeah, he's got that nice little shoulder action as a line of defense. And it's hard. And again, Sal's making it it's difficult. It's difficult to fight someone like that. And Sal just landed a couple nice shots there. And Willcox isn't able to land what he wants to land. And again, but he's got to do what he needs to do before he does what he wants to do. And nice work there by Sal. And again, a lesson for other boxers or for coaches are how do you incorporate that into drill work? How do you drill doing what you need to do before doing what you want to do? You
got to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's a nice way to put that too. You get a fighter that loves to throw a wild overhand right, then in training you have someone work that defense that it is impossible to land that wild overhand right and make the offensive boxer do what he needs to do before he does what he wants to do, that type of thing. This is good. Again, I know it's an unpopular style, the way that's what Sal's doing. What I like what Sal's doing is he is not letting Willcox get a rhythm going. He's not letting Willcox work. He's not letting Willcox do what Willcox wants to do. And I think that's smart.
Stylistically, yeah, it may not appeal to every boxing fan, but it's smart.
It's smart. It's just why am I going to stand toe-to-toe with someone like Shea Willcox? Why not make Shea do stuff that he doesn't want to do?
Well, clearly, if they were just to stand in a phone booth toe-to-toe, Shea would have that upper hand. He's got to do things to negate that, and what he's did, the movement, the angles, the jabs and the quick counters.
Exactly.
That's his path to victory.
And Shea Willcox's best punch is that lead left hook to the body, and we have not seen it land well over and over again. Yeah. We've seen it land, but just not as much as Shea wants it to land. Right. Sal's not. That's Sal. Sal's not allowing that to happen.
Right. Shea's clearly winning, but the defense has flummoxed him a bit. He hasn't had any real, massive shots that have hurt Sal.
Here's another way of looking at it. Max Kellerman has an expression of when he scores fights, first questions he asks himself is, who would I rather be going back to my corner? And that's always a great question. Like, who took more damage? I don't want to be that guy. In this fight so far, Sal hasn't taken damage. And Shea divvies out damage every fight, and he's not divvying out the damage. And so on the one hand, he's winning every round, but he's not hurting Sal.
I mean, credit to Shea, he hasn't seemed to get out of his game plan.
No, no, because Shea's disciplined. Yeah. I like how he's southpaw right now, trying to create a different angle. Very smart move.
How do you feel about that, about switching stances like that? Yeah.
I love stance switches. I think it's so smart. I think if you're a basketball player and you can only shoot right-handed, you're limited.
Yeah.
Then they will force you to go left the whole game. You should be able, basketball player, you should be able to dribble left, you should be able to dribble right, you should be able to do it all. Unlimited.
It's like a Bill Belichick type football player. You can play at any position.
So Shea has found something here that's working for him. Because he's able to land some hard punches here. And again, it's a little different, Shea Willcox, but Shea found something. Shea found it.
Right on cue, right as you said that.
Well done, well done. You could tell Shea found something.
What is the adjustment that Shea made?
I don't know. What I do know
well, that's what makes him so good, I guess, right?
You could feel it. He found something.
Yeah.
I'd have to watch it back.
Sure.
But you could just tell like I think it's a different guard. So a different guard and a different. He's more chasey with a different guard and then unloading.
Another good shot, but that was smart by Sal.
Sal,
tie up.
That is beyond smart what Sal just did. Because now Shea's got momentum because he found it.
You see the vet fighters, the fighters with more experience and ring savvy. When you get hit like that, the best thing to do is tie up and kind of get your head back.
In my opinion, yes. Some people hate tie-ups. They're like, don't tie him, fight him. And I just think that's silly. See right here. And tick-tock, 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 tick-tock. All this time, he just bought.
Yep.
All this time. Look at all the time he just bought.
Survive, advance to another round. Give yourself another minute. Give your coaches another minute to adjust. Give you adjustments. Best round, though, for Shea so far.
Yep. See right here with the hands. Fighting out of a type of high horns package. Something about nice that positioning for Shea. Yeah. Disarmed something in Sal. There is something unclicked and clicked.
So you think Shea just took advantage of maybe Sal sleeping on his footwork there for a minute?
No. I think I don't know exactly.
Yeah, I know it's hard.
I can't.
I'm trying to figure it out myself.
I can't put my finger on it right now. Yeah. I know what. However, hokey. You could just feel it.
Yeah.
You could visually see. I can't. I'm not.
I got you. It's a boxing sixth sense.
Yeah. That's a great. Yeah, thank you. That's a good way to put it. All right, here we are in round 5, which I'm sure is helpful for the people at home that I'm using my sixth sense and unexplainable things.
The final 2 rounds, we got Shea pitching a shutout so far.
Yeah.
Sal's not out of the fight though. He's still, he's still there, still moving, still seems to be pretty fresh.
I think Sal has I was going to say stumbled upon, but I think this was with purpose. Sal has kind of shown a type of blueprint, not necessarily yet of how to beat Shea Willcox, but how to sort of keep Shea Willcox from
kind of neutralize
dominating.
some of that offense. Yes.
Because granted, Shea's winning every round, but he's not. He hasn't beaten up Sal. We had that moment in that last round, sure, but.
From what you've seen in the past fights, it seems like this is not normal kind of Shea kind of blitz and just domination.
And I think Sal has pointed out a type of movement that can work against Shea. So if I'm Shea's next opponent and I'm their coach, I'm watching this.
Yeah. Oh.
Well done. Beautiful uppercut. That's the danger of Shea Willcox. That is the danger. Shea Willcox is dangerous.
Is that a matter too of now having a bunch of rounds under the belt? You can almost kind of know where your opponent's going to be, and you can kind of size them up and
you get yes. You can absolutely that happens. So here now, Sal's no longer moving, cutting the angle side to side. He's moving in one direction. So his mouthpiece just went flying. Shea doesn't care.
Is stepping. He stepped it up right now.
Good tie-up, now we'll replace the mouth guard. I don't know how that came out.
That was a weird way.
I don't know what happened there. Neutral corner. But what's happening here is Pugliares isn't moving in the same dynamic nature. He's still moving, but some of the air is out of his tires.
That break did help, Sal a little bit there.
So you could see Sal. See, he's still moving, but notice it's not as sharp, it's not as fast. So it's going to be easier for Shea. And Shea knows it. Shea knows it.
Yeah, you can see it's like a predator stalking his prey.
Exactly. So Sal's moving in the proper way. The cuts to the right, the cuts to the left. It's not as sharp. And Shea is sharp.
And a fighter of Shea's caliber will take advantage of that.
Yeah. See, he's got him.
Well, Sal looks like he just wants to get
Sal's just trapped here.
To the next round. Now Shea being clearly ahead, pitching his shutout. Going into the last round, do you think he's going to try to finish it, or is he going to stick to his game plan?
It's a good question. Here's what I think. I think for Shea Willcox, I don't think he's going to try to finish it. I don't think he's going to try to put on the knockout show. I think if it presents itself, then he will, absolutely. But he's not going to go looking for it.
Yeah, he's not going to force anything.
He's not going to force it. He'll create it, but he won't force it.
Yeah, he landed some wicked body shots, some great uppercuts.
But wow.
That was one. That was a
shot.
That was a good shot by Sal right there.
Yeah. So again, if I'm the next opponent of Shea Willcox, I'm rewinding that and I'm watching that again and again to see what happened there and see how that type of movement that this kid has, that type of movement, there's something in there.
Now for Sal, his corner, what do you think they just told him? I mean, obviously he's lost every round.
Right.
What do you say to him? Do you just say try to survive this, or do you go for broke?
No, you're not going to go for broke because you're not going to knock out Shea Willcox.
Yeah, Shea's got a chin. Huh?
Yep. And it's just you're tired. You're not gonna knock out Shea. So just keep doing what you're doing. Keep working. Keep working. Keep using your foot. Keep using your feet.
Sure.
And that's what he's doing.
I mean, for Sal to finish the fight too would be a victory of sorts for him.
Yeah. I think again, if you're talking for hindsight, the film study is nice tie-up. The film study is how to use your feet in a fight, and I like what Sal has done. Yeah. Shea has fit. It's over. It's just over. And what'll happen here is you can see Pugliares is just. I think that's it, and I think Shea can create another knockdown moment.
Yeah, if Shea really wanted to put on the pressure, you think he could finish this?
I think so, yes. And I'm not saying that he should. I'm not saying that he's bad if he doesn't. But I think that there lies that opportunity.
I get what you're saying, though. He's not going to get out of character and do something that would potentially leave himself open to some type of Hail Mary.
No,
when he's got the victory in hand, and he's clearly winning, and what he's doing is working.
I think Shea has a fantastic ring IQ. Knows what to do.
Yeah. Fundamentally sound. He looks fresh too. He looks like he can go 12 easily.
Again, another theme of this fight is doing what you need to do before doing what you want to do. And that takes a mental strength that Shea Willcox has. And not many fighters have that.
I mean, you got to think that's what really separates the pros or the elite pros from the pros.
Yeah. That sets you on a different level. If we look back to like the Bobby Lang fight, where Bobby had the things he wanted to do, didn't necessarily do the things that he needed to do to set up what he wanted to do. He just went for what he wanted. Yeah. And that's not a bad thing. It's a developmental thing. And at where Shea Willcox is, and I gotta say, Shea's always had that. It just seems to be part of his personality. I mean, the kid's a pro. The kid is a pro.
Who would you compare Shea's game to? Is there any fighters that he reminds you of?
I want to say a little bit of Bivol.
Okay.
In just the discipline of just discipline. Why are we booing? Why are we booing?
Well, like you were saying before, there's a lot of, I guess, more casual boxing fans that they just want to see a phone booth fight. So, but I mean, Sal is, technically that was a masterpiece.
I'm trying to figure there's something weird going on.
I think Sal was holding on a little bit at the end.
Okay. Yeah, smart. I don't get it. Yeah. What I missed? Yeah, Shea Willcox just mentally, I think his best attribute. If you ask me this morning, what is Shea Willcox's best attribute? I would say that left hook to the body. You ask me now, I'm going to say it's his mind. I mean, the opponent that he had fighting in that way is very frustrating.
That's a tough opponent.
It's frustrating.
Yeah.
It's difficult. And Shea just was a professional. There was no moment of like, stop running, pussy, that kind of thing. It was just, okay.
He never lost that composure.
No, never lost his composure.
I mean, that's a sign of a pro.
Yeah,
There.
yeah. And look at him.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
Even keel.
This is when
You don't get too high, don't get too low, which would seem to be a.
when we see him in his 21st fight, and you look back on this fight at Fenway, you'll see the building blocks of a great fighter.
Yeah.
Because we're already seeing really seeing great things.
Yeah, the sky's the limit for this kid.
And you'll see, looking back, so it's 2026 now.
Yeah.
Let's say 2028, 2029, 2030. Looking back at 2026, you'll see, oh yeah, he had this is where he comes from. Just excellent work. Kid's got it.
Yeah, great performance. I mean, he showed kind of, like you said, a lot of the tools.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. All three judges, Eddie Spencio, Anzulo, and Joe PC at the same 60-51. Your winner, and still undefeated, Showtime, Shea Willcox.
And Sal Pugliares, I think Sal showed an interesting creation of a blueprint. And if you're going to fight Shea Willcox, that's something to look at. And Shea Willcox's team, that's something to take a look at.
Absolutely.
Again, it was a dominant performance. Well, I don't like the word dominant for that. It was it was
a shutout.
It was a shutout. But a very, very good learning experience.
And I mean, as a young phenom, not every fight is going to end in a spectacular knockout.
No.
I mean, Shea seems to have that maturity already that he can handle. Getting his hand raised, whether it's by knockout or just a dominant shutout win.
There is no disappointment in what happened,
Yeah.
and that I like to see also. All right, as we move on, we are going to go into the main event. Why most of us have shown up. So
we've all been waiting for.
Anthony Vieira, Shea Brown. These two do not like each other. That isn't a thing for TV. It's not a thing for to get more buys, to get more ticket sales. They do not like each other. This fight is going to be an incredible fight.
It's a grudge match.
It's just going to be. You got Anthony Vieira, who I've seen Anthony fight. Anthony is just there's a serial killer vibe to Anthony, and I mean that in a complimentary way. He's patient, he's cautious, he's violent, and he's a finisher. Shea moves beautifully, slick, has fun in there. It's sort of like we're gonna shoot it up to Casual Rob and
Casual Rob here with Eric Kelly and Showtime Shea Willcox, who just came off of a dominant performance. And I gotta say, you were doing a whole lot of running after somebody, but the lion finally caught up with the gazelle. Tell me how that one felt.
I mean, I'm not really used to that, but this is boxing. You gotta be ready for whoever shows up in that ring. So, we adjusted, tried cutting him off. He was doing a lot of circling, but we got to him. We put him down twice. But unanimous decision win. I can't complain. So that's about it, yeah.
Eric Kelly was calling you the lion the whole time. You were chasing the gazelle. You finally caught up with him, and he loved it.
Comparison, do you think the lion versus gazelle? You were the lion. You stayed behind your jab. You was patient. You put your punches together. You didn't go too wild, and you broke them down methodically to the body. Intelligent boxing.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it, guys, and Thank you to the Nolan brothers for all this, putting us on this beautiful platform with you guys here and at Fenway Park in Boston. So, unanimous decision. Thank you to my team, Joey Ricciardi, Dennis Willcox, Michael Ferracano, the Nolan brothers. Thank you everyone that came out from my team everywhere. I appreciate it. Boston, let's go.
It's a great win, Shea. We're going to see you soon, man. Back to you, Todd.
Thank you, Casual Rob.
Appreciate you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen,